I do think, on the question Anastasia mentioned, whether this will be a dominating performance by one player or a scrap till the end.
Underway, and as you were saying, Alejandro, introduce Hans Niemann.
Hans Niemann is a grinder. He spent most of the pandemic.
Yeah, is it? Yes, I've played this.
Is it?
Yes.
C65? This early?
Oh, well, I like it as black with me.
This is what I was provoking you to say.
Yeah, I like it as black with
this newfangled stuff. Like, this is not supposed to be anything at all.
If I had a student that's around 1600 and they took on d5, I would spend like 15 minutes explaining why you don't take on d5, let out the bishop on c8 to f5. This looks like an amateur mistake, doesn't it?
It does, absolutely. But Magnus has done this before. It's something he does very, very seriously. It's obviously not a misclick of any kind. He connects it with very serious ideas. And this move he makes right here after knight b7, the move h2, h3, is I think an indication of what those ideas are, because
he wants to preserve his bishop.
But also I get the feeling g4 is not very far away. The point is, when people do cd5, e5 this early with a bishop coming out to f5 so comfortably, they often follow it up by playing bishop d3 and sort of playing to play a kind of a solid, boring game.
Right.
And then very often black is slightly better straight out of the opening, because the bishop on e7 is arguably slightly better than the bishop on f4, with the structure being what it is. White needing, an active plan, and not really having an active plan. Your minority attack on the queen side without those light paired bishops is going to be severely diminished in strength. But Magnus is not planning to do any of that, I'm pretty sure. Magnus, I think, is going to be playing some kind of a, high slightly more justifiable because in Dubai, after he lost Game 6,
Yes.
he could no longer, play with entirely objectively because he knew that if he doesn't win the game for the rest of the match is over.
Right.
So it was sort of, incumbent upon him to do something, and he kept on trying to do something, pushing perhaps the envelope a bit further than it, judging by what we're seeing on our screens. Playing against Magnus is no longer as comfortable for him as it was prior to Dubai, because he did have a very, very good score against him, and deservedly so.
Right.
Many of those games were from when they both were much younger, but still, it doesn't. That doesn't mitigate the fact that he was at some point. I think he was maybe even 4-0 up. Then Magnus won one.
Finally,
Yeah, then he won one, and then in recent times, Magnus started winning games against
Wow. Yeah, but this one looks really.
Yeah, white is
bad.
2 pawns up with an active bishop in the center of the board. There's really not very much going on here.
And not only that, but all more weaknesses are ready to be
things are
picked
falling
up.
apart.
Knight
3 check.
3 check.
Yeah,
Okay.
you can play King E2. King E2. I kind of like King E2, Knight E5, and then I thought, I don't know. Hang on. No, I was playing. I actually had this in mind. King H3 is also completely funny. I don't know why I was insisting on King E2. Knight E5 and then anywhere, and then F3, F4.
Exactly.
Rook E4 for example. Rook E4 doesn't really matter.
Even B6 check is not well. Okay, that may be extravagant, but yeah, rook E4. Sorry,
Rook E4 followed by F4. Yeah, it's just
It's terrible.
Yeah,
It's
there's
terrible.
There's just everything is wrong with this position.
Truly. For Vladimir.
Yeah, but that sort of refers to a very specific story of Vladimir being. Vladimir at some point recorded a 2-hour plus video,
Okay.
on the candidates, which he also covered for a channel of my good friend Evgeny Bitov, and he recorded a long video dedicated to only, I think, the first 5 or 6 rounds of the candidates, not even the entire tournament.
Right.
And the general tenor of the video was, this is the worst. He's also, and there you see Magnus accepting Jan's resignation. But also it's Kramnik, so he's not very wrong about the chess.